So for phase three, test out what color palette that you're thinking about using for this piece. Decide what harmony that you're trying to work with. One that helps me a lot is 60-30-10 rule. So you see 60-30-10 rule in a lot of films and honestly, even in a lot of character designs. Editing lost in here. So I'll be real, I didn't really like the way that I explained the 60-30-10 rule, so I'm just going to go over it again, just a little bit better. So let's take Batman, for example. We got Batman on the screen right here. So we could say majority of his fit is like a darkish blue, and it doesn't really matter about the tint. If it's a light blue, medium blue, dark blue, they all fall into the same family of blue. So blue is going to be the majority color that we see here. So that's going to be in the 60%. And then if we look at the rest of his clothes, it's kind of like grays and blacks. That's going to be about the 30%. And then the 10%, that's going to be the yellow on his belt. So that's what I mean by 60-30-10 rule. And let's take Hello Kitty, for example. So if we look at Hello Kitty, the majority of her is white. It's super obvious. And then her bow and then her little t-shirt, that's kind of like a pinkish reddish color. I'm not even too sure. And I guess the tiniest little pop of color, the 10%, is going to be the little yellow on her nose. So that is what I'm getting at by 60-30-10. And I'm going to put up a few more examples in movies. So this rule helps create balance and harmony all throughout pieces, but it's just a guide. You don't have to follow it if you don't want to. There's totally other options for us to play with because, you know, we study color theory. So for phase three, test out what color palette that you're thinking about using for this piece. Decide what harmony that you're trying to work with. So I grew up playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I love Yu-Gi-Oh! And one of my favorite cards is the Mirage Knight. And I was working on a piece and I couldn't really think about the color palette that I wanted to use. So I took the color palette from that Yu-Gi-Oh! Card and then I applied it to this piece right here. And what I did was I changed the balance. So I think Mirage Knight's piece, I want to say it was about like 60% yellow, 30% red, and like 10% blue. So this one, I made it like 60% red, 30% yellow, 10% blue. Like I just changed up like the balance of it all, but same color palette, used in a different way. And once you generate art like that, it gives you infinite possibilities to work with. So look up some color palettes that you like. Apply the 60-30-10 rule if you want. If you want to go back to what we studied in the color theory unit, you're more than welcome to pick palettes from there. Maybe you could work more monochromatic. Maybe you could do primary, tertiary, secondary, analogous. Maybe you're really feeling that. So really play with the color balance that you want to have for this piece.